Okay, so welcome back. We're going to start another new book today, the book of 2 Samuel, which is actually just a continuation of 1 Samuel. And we left off where God used the Philistines to get revenge on King Saul for all the wickedness and evil that he did, and then he met his fate. Unfortunately, his son Jonathan, who was David's best friend, was a victim of the attack as well. In this second half of the book, 2 Samuel, we're going to see David's rise to power in Israel, his conquest of Jerusalem, and then the successes and failures of his life. It's going to be interesting. Buckle up, here we go. Now it came about after the death of Saul, when David had returned from the slaughter of the Amalekites, that David remained 2 days in Ziklag. On the third day, behold, a man came out of the camp from Saul, with his clothes torn and dust on his head. And it came about when he came to David that he fell to the ground and prostrated himself. Then David said to him, "From where do you come?" And he said, "I have escaped from the camp of Israel." David said to him, "How did things go? Please tell me." And he said, "The people have fled from the battle, and also many of the people have fallen and are dead. And Saul and Jonathan his son are dead also." So David said to the young man who told him, "How do you know that Saul and his son Jonathan are dead?" The young man who told him said, "By chance I happened to be on Mount Gilboa, and behold, Saul was leaning on his spear. And behold, the chariots and the horsemen pursued him closely. When he looked behind him, he saw me and called to me. And I said, 'Here I am.' He said to me, 'Who are you?' And I answered him, 'I am an Amalekite.' Then he said to me, 'Please stand beside me and kill me, for agony has seized me because my life still lingers in me.' So I stood beside him and killed him, because I knew that he could not live after he had fallen. And I took the crown which was on his head, and the bracelet which was on his arm, and I have brought them here to my lord." This is a lie, this account from the Amalekite, and the purpose was to receive a reward from David. Saul fell on his own sword so that the Philistines wouldn't torture and humiliate him. Chapter 21 of this book will reaffirm this for us. The Amalekite was a treasure hunter, a battlefield opportunist who followed armies in conflict in hopes of gathering booty from the fallen soldiers. The Amalekite likely witnessed the death of Saul and heard Saul's plea for his armor-bearer to kill him before committing suicide. It's likely he went to Saul's body just after his death, took the crown and the armband as proof of his story, and expected David to grant him a large reward. Verse 11. Then David took hold of his clothes and tore them, and so also did all the men who were with him. They mourned and wept and fasted until evening for Saul and his son Jonathan, and for the people of the Lord in the house of Israel, because they had fallen by the sword. David said to the young man who told him, "Where are you from?" And he answered, "I am the son of an alien, an Amalekite." Then David said to him, "How is it you were not afraid to stretch out your hand to destroy the Lord's anointed?" In other words, what gave you the right to kill King Saul, God's anointed? Remember, David had several chances to kill Saul and wouldn't because God had chosen him as king. Verse 15. And David called one of the young men and said, "Go, cut him down." So he struck him and he died. Don't be telling no lies. Verse 16. David said to him, "Your blood is on your head, for your mouth has testified against you, saying, 'I have killed the Lord's anointed.'" Then David chanted with this lament over Saul and Jonathan his son. And he told them to teach the sons of Judah the song of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jashar. The book of Jashar is a poetic collection of Israel's wars and valiant warriors. Verse 19. Your beauty, O Israel, is slain on your high places. How have the mighty fallen? Tell it not in Gath, proclaim it not in the streets of Ashkelon. Or the daughters of the Philistines will rejoice, the daughters of the uncircumcised will exult. O mountains of Gilboa, let not dew or rain be on you, nor fields of offerings. For there the shield of the mighty was defiled, the shield of Saul, not anointed with oil. From the blood of the slain, from the fat of the mighty, the bow of Jonathan did not turn back, and the sword of Saul did not return empty. Saul and Jonathan, beloved and pleasant in their life. And pause real quick. I never quite understood David's loyalty to Saul after all he did to him, with the only exception that it was God's anointed. But still. All right, carrying on. And in their death they were not parted. They were swifter than eagles. They were stronger than lions. O daughters of Israel, weep over Saul, who clothed you luxuriously in scarlet, who put ornaments of gold on your apparel. How have the mighty fallen in the midst of the battle? Jonathan is slain on your high places. I am distressed for you, my brother Jonathan. You have been very pleasant to me. Your love to me was more wonderful than the love of women. We talked about this. Let's not read anything sinful into this statement. The friendship between David and Jonathan was noble, loyal, and selfless, a bond that was rare and incredibly strong. Verse 27, how have the mighty fallen, and the weapons of war perished? So a time of mourning for David and Israel, and obviously a time of confusion for Israel as well as to who would lead them next. So stay tuned. It's going to get good. God bless you.